our geometry quarterfinal, let's see, be lessons 1 through 45, review video part 4. It's taken a long time to get 20 questions. But I'm trying to be fairly thorough, which is why it's taken so long to get through several of these. So on this question, they're going to give you, triangles where two sides are congruent. Okay, so, this side over here, let's see if I've got A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. Okay. We're going to get something along the lines of, we will say that this is 40 degrees and this is 110 degrees. Okay. We'll say that this is 2x plus 6, and we'll say that this is 20. Okay. We want to write an inequality that gives us the possible values of x in this diagram. Okay. So what do we do? 40 over 110? Okay. I think you guys are making this a bit more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, so what you need to look at is that in a triangle where two sides are congruent and the included angles are not the same, the side that's opposite the larger angle, it has got to be larger than the side that's opposite the smaller angle, correct? So I can write an inequality, right? So if I was going to put 20, what would that be in relation to 2x plus 6? Less than 2x plus 6. So now can I write and finish the inequality up? Okay, by doing what? Subtract 6 on both sides. Okay, so I have 14 is less than 2x. Divide by 2. Okay, so 7 is less than x, but that's not really how I want to write that, right? We're going to write x is greater than 7, correct? Okay, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, now I think in this particular question, they're going to probably leave it with something like this, but I want you to be able to do this. Okay, does that make sense? I think that they're probably going to keep it like what I've got circled first here. Just being able to set up the inequality is what the question is looking for. Okay, can we follow that? All right, do we understand the principle behind it? Do we see that 2x plus 6 has got to be greater than 20? All right, and this kind of goes back to that whole, the hypotenuse of a triangle or the longest side of a triangle where I showed you kind of like, the palms and wrists and that whole thing, that as we increase the angle, we're increasing the distance of the side that's opposite of it, correct? Okay, and because we know 110 is greater than 40, then we know 2x plus 6 has to be greater than 20. All right, 18. Okay. Okay, we've got a line. Let's see. So we got y equals, somebody give me a number. 11. 11x plus 21. Okay. So we're going to be given 4 lines. We're going to look for the one that's parallel to this line right here. So I might have to change the form of the different equations. So one may give you something like, y equals, x plus 21, or let's see, yeah. You might get another one where it's, I don't know, I'm just going to make some stuff up. 4y plus 11x equals 0. Okay, so we'd want to change that. Let's see, we can get, y equals 1 over 11x, something to that effect. And let's try negative 10y equals, I don't know, 4x. These are different equation types that you're going to get. you're going to need to change these into slope-intercept form. Some of them you don't have to change though, right? This one doesn't need to be changed. This one doesn't need to be changed, correct? So I don't really need to change two equations. And whenever I change these, I'm looking for the one that's going to give me a slope of what? 11. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that either one of these two is going to give you slope of 11. Like I said, I'm making stuff up. Okay? But one of them in your question will. Okay, you follow? All right. All right, 19. Okay. They're going to show you two similar triangles. Okay. Let's do 8. Oh, let's change this up. Let's do 9. Do 18. Let's see. Let's say 6. Right, and they're going to ask for what is this length right here. This should be pretty easy. 9 over 6 equals 18 over x. Good. Multiply 6 times 2. You can. Now, you've set it up to cross multiply and divide. But yeah, you're right. And the easy way to look is, well, what is the relationship of 9 to 18? Well, 18 is double 9, right? So x has got to be double 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So that's one that we can see fairly easy. But really what I need to do is 6 times 18 divided by 9. I should still get x equals 12. Is that correct? Okay. So if I set it up, like I could actually even, like with what I have here, I could reduce 9/6. Right? I can divide both those numbers by 3. I'm getting what? 3/2. That's still equivalent to this right here. Okay, so 2 times 18 is 36. 36 divided by 3, I still get x equals 12. But it's a little bit easier to work with. Okay? Questions or concerns there in terms of setting up a proportion? Okay? The side lengths are proportional. Does anybody know why the side lengths are proportional? Because the triangles are similar. Okay? We have enough information to show that our triangles are similar, therefore our corresponding angles are proportional. Last question. Okay. All right, here they're going to tell you that we have H, I, J, K, and we have L, M, N, O. Okay, we've got these two polygons. They're similar to each other. The corresponding sides have a ratio of, let's say, 5 to 8. Their ratio of their sides is 5 to 8. If we know that the perimeter of this one over here, okay, so this is side ratio, okay, their perimeter of this one equals, let's say, 28. Okay, we want to know what is the perimeter of this one here. How would we go about finding out? You're saying what? 5 over 8? 5 over 28. Okay, equals 8 over x. Okay. Sure, that'll work. I probably would have done 5 over 8 because it's a ratio, but we're still dealing with the same thing because the ratio of the sides is the same as the ratio of the perimeters. Okay. Now, if they were saying something along the lines of the ratio of my sides is 5 to 8, the area of HIJK is this. What's the area of LMNO? That would be different. We would take that ratio of 5/8 or whatever we had, and we would have to square it. Okay, but in perimeter, perimeter's 1-to-1 with the ratio of our sides. Does that make sense? So, 28 times 8, what is that? 224 divided by 5, 44.8. Okay, and because we're just making up numbers, right, that still works for us. Okay? All right, do we understand at least these 4 questions that we worked out today? All right, so I'm going to hit stop here, but you really need to watch for sure the videos that were made from the other class, which would have been videos 1 and 3. So I'm going to hit stop on this. I'm going to get it saved and sent out to you, but you need to be watching videos 1 and 3 if you haven't already. Okay?